Hey everybody, John with todayshooter.com, and today we're going over the Winchester 32-piece gun cleaning kit. And I've had this for about 4 years now, and I've enjoyed it, but it only to a certain extent, and I will cover what I mean by that in a little bit. But to begin with, the case, it's nice and soft. I mean, it holds everything in, and I mean, it's the case. The zipper, I've had it for, like I said, about 4 years. This has not been ripped off or anything, so that's nice. And on the inside here, they've done a pretty good job packaging everything in there. Now, we're actually going to just start with these two top sections. And this is going to be our brushes and our mops. And that's the really cool thing about these. Got this Velcro. I can actually put them down here, but I actually prefer them, since the logo's here, I prefer to have these down here. And that way I know I got to keep it laid down. But let's come all to that later. Now, this right here is the main reason I actually purchased this. I had a pistol at the time, a 9mm, but I had another piece of equipment or cleaning kit for it, and so when I bought this, it was mainly for my shotgun. And on here, you've got for the 410, 20 gauge, and 12, and then it repeats itself. But obviously, these first three, let's take that one out for now. We'll get to that in a second. These three are the mops, and these are the bronze brushes. And I really like the way they put everything together. It's very well labeled. It hasn't rubbed off at all. Of course, I don't use the 410 or the 20 very much. It's mainly just the 12 gauge brush and mop. Let me actually just take this out here for you. Whoop. All right, come here there, buddy. There we go. And technically, this one's a new one, because the one I had, I wish I could show you the other one. I threw it away without thinking about it. But it wore down over time just because I've used it for several years. This is a new one, so it's really nice and soft. Length right about 1.5 inches as far as high. And it gets into the crevices and all that kind of good stuff really well for the barrel, obviously. And then let's get that in there. There we go. And now on the bronze, now this one I didn't replace. It hasn't really worn down at all. Of course, being metal, this being a cloth, it actually tore a little bit even when it comes out of the barrel, obviously, if you can think about it like that. So these work out quite well. I like them a lot. And so, like I said, you've got the 410 for the mop and the bronze brush, 20 gauge, both. Also, 12 gauge, you have those in both. Okay, so let's grab this bad boy. Whoop. Whoop, there we go, okay. You've got a couple different items here, and there's 3 of these. Here we go. Here's that little one. So these say 12 on it. This is for the 12 gauge, and this is for the 22. This is for you to stick the brush in, or not, excuse me, not the brush, the rag that I've never even used the rag that's in here. I always had my other rag. Stick that in there to clean it out. So there's 3 of those, and then it comes with 6 of these items. And the crazy thing about these, and it'll even say on here, I'm not sure if you can see that, but right here it says 40. So that is the 40 caliber version. This is for the 45. Let's see here. Ooh, that's a little baby. I'm gonna bet that's gonna be for the 22. Yep, that's the 22. That's a 35. So it's gonna be 357. And this can be, I believe, 9mm. 9mm. This is just a little pick kind of thing to get in there and pull stuff out. The weird thing about this entire case, and actually before I get into that, this is for, let's see here, 30. Okay. is the 9mm. It does not have anything for 9mm besides this. And guess what caliber my pistol is? 9mm. However, I did learn the 357 is, while it is a little big for a 9mm, it does still fit, and it's just a really tight fit. So I can use the mop for the 357 and also the bronze brush for the 9mm that's in 357 caliber. The two for the pistol / rifles, all you get over here is for a 22 caliber and 357, which again, like I said, the 9mm that will fit. Those are the only two mops though. The rest of them, they only have the bronze brush. So if you're wanting to do, I was a little disappointed in the case for that, and along with not having a dedicated mop and brush for the 9mm. I mean, it's such a common caliber. I don't understand why they don't have it, but let's go over what they do have. Like I said, these first two are the mops, 22 and 357. And then we're going to start with the bronze brushes all the way down. Another 22, 270, 30. There's the other 357, 40 cal, and 45. So it's got a decent range. Again, I was just really disappointed in Winchester for not making one specifically for the 9mm, and it being a little more difficult with using the 357 instead. So let's put these back. And then we're going to get our, actually, let's go ahead and do this. This right here, this piece, the rod, is for the shotguns. This is much wider compared to these smaller ones for the pistol / rifles right there. And of course, we have another one for that. So we've got 3 pieces that can connect for the shotguns. And then right here, these are for, you know, maybe if you got a 22 rifle or something like that, that's what these are for. Actually, it's going to be on this side. So these being much smaller on the heads, that's where this comes into place. And one thing I noticed, and I don't have a 22 or small caliber rifle, I just use a 30-06. For some reason, only this one rod turns right here. No idea why. Kind of interesting. I just thought I'd show it to you. If you know what the point of that is, do me a favor along with everyone else. Just list that in the comments below, please, if you don't mind. That'd be great. And another item they sent in, I have never used this. If I did, it probably would have broke the first time. I mean, yeah, so they call this a pick. Well, for obvious reasons. But maybe it's just get into your gun, pull out some junk, but it is not very strong. I understand why they made it from plastic. You don't want to actually use a metal one and start scratching your finish up so that your gun might rust. But just, yeah, this is just really cheap. I do not like this at all. So, yeah, that's why I've never used it. And this is also Velcroed in. When this came in, it was actually opposite, where all this stuff was up there and these were down here. But again, you can just mix and match them however you please. All right, let's get that out of the way real quick. And this is the last of it right in here. It comes with this little pouch, and this right here is also Velcroed. And I always just Velcro it right in there. You can do it however you will. It's got a really nice soft rag that comes in. Like I said, I don't use this one, and that's why. Look how small that thing is. The rag I've got is probably 4 times this size. I like a lot of rag to use when I'm cleaning a gun. That way I can not get my dirt you know, that I picked up for one area and put it back on another area. And well, if you're like me, you like to shoot a lot of bullets, and it gets the guns really dirty doing that. But, you know, they did put it in there. It is good quality. The stitching is nice. I just, you know, would have preferred it a little larger. But, hey, you also get what you pay for, too. This entire case, it's just over $30. So it's not anything horrible. Now, this piece here, if you decide for whatever reason you're going to use these smaller brass rods, then you can put this adapter on for your shotgun, either mop or brush. So that's what this is for. And then this bad boy is just, instead of having to use the rods, you can use this, which I've found I almost always use this. I use this for my shotguns, but, you know, the pistols, I use this quite a bit. That's my favorite. And then besides that, they give you these 25 little kind of towelette type deals. You know, this stuff's good for taking grease off, and I've never used them. I've just always left it in there because I mainly just let the rag do the work for me on that. But yeah. So that's what came in the case. And like I said, I've had about 4 years. I definitely wish they would have done some different things in certain areas. But main thing, not having 9mm brush or mop, that's kind of a big deal for me right there. But they do have larger cases, like they've got a 64 count that I believe does have it and that kind of stuff. And yeah, so there you go. Hey guys, I appreciate you watching. Hope you enjoyed it. Hope it helped you out as far as making a decision whether you want to purchase this or not. I'd appreciate it if you'd subscribe. Also, give us some comments. Tell us what you think. Thanks, guys. Bye.